Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Byington, and in this video, we're talking about part 4 of T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. This portion is subtitled Death by Water. There has been a lot of water mentioned throughout the poem. I mentioned that in the last section that I covered in the fire sermon. You have, in the fire sermon, it's largely about the River Thames. And then back earlier, we started with the Lake Starnberger in Germany. Um, Water has played a significant part, but something was also mentioned back in part 1 when we met the psychic who did the tarot card reading, Madame Sosostris. And she drew a card. Remember, I said some of the cards are real and some of them aren't, or like they're like her own special version, maybe. And one of those was a card that featured a drowned man who who is a Phoenician, and that person has come back to the surface, no pun intended, in the first line here of part 4. And so we have gone back to that fortune telling bit when she said, like, this is I pulled this card just for you. This represents you. This represents something you need to know, something about the future. And that is an interesting note because it describes, in a super short section, this is certainly the absolutely shortest section in this very long poem. And it describes his body kind of like rising and falling with the current and the waves. And that bit of motion of the ocean is it's dissolving him, like he is decaying in the water. I know, lovely scene. But it's the point of it is meant to remind the reader that one day you'll die too. Like, hey, this Phoenician used to be upright and breathing and good looking like you, but now he's not. He's dissolving in the ocean. Um, we can also interpret some of this part about the drowned Phoenician as being like a reference to the character Ferdinand in Shakespeare's The Tempest. So Eliot has more of culture. He keeps weaving that highbrow culture in throughout this. So that's all I have for you for this section because it's so short. But going into the last section, do pay attention to that last part that's reminding the reader that, hey, one day you will die too, because that immediately comes back up in the final section when I continue that in the next video. Thank you.